Hey Bookies, today we are going to go over book recs if you like The Last of Us. So let's get started. In honor of The Last of Us TV show just coming out and it being absolutely freaking fantastic, I thought that I could give some book recs that I've seen floating around online and ones that I think best kind of encapsulate the feeling of The Last of Us. The Last of Us is a, if you don't know, I don't know why you don't know, but it is a zombie post-apocalyptic video game series. The zombie virus is caused by a fungal infection called cordyceps, and you can look that up. It's absolutely terrifying, but only limited to insects at the moment. And it happens to cross-mutate into humans. 20 years after the outbreak, we are following this grumpy old man named Joel, and he just discovers that there is this 14-year-old girl who might be the cure for this infestation, as she has been bitten, but she has not turned yet. And so the whole of the video game follows their journey from Boston all the way to the West, somewhere in Seattle, to try to get her to this lab so that way she can be humanity's last chance anyways, and about their bond and stuff like that. The video game, a lot of it is horror. I'm just going to be straight out. If you don't like horror video games, a lot of this is horror. There's a lot of jump scares and scary moments and blood and gore, violence, stuff like that. But at the heart of it, the story really focuses on the humanity, a la, you know, The Last of Us is not really about the last humans left after the infection, but really it's about the last of humanity that is left in all of us when something catastrophic happens. Which I thought was very well conveyed and is being very well conveyed in the TV series. So I thought that I would do a list like this in case you're also a bookie and you're like, hey, I really like this. I really want to read books that are kind of like this as well. So the first two books that I'm going to start off with are books that it is said that the video game developers based The Last of Us on. The first one would be The Road, which is by Cormac McCarthy, and it is a post-apocalyptic novel destined to become Cormac McCarthy's masterpiece. I don't know about that. I don't know. I've never read it. I'm just going to read what the Goodreads article says. It says, a father and his son walk alone through burned America. Nothing moves in the ravaged landscape save the ash on the wind. It is cold enough to crack stones, and when the snow falls, it is gray. The sky is dark. Their destination is the coast, although they don't know what, if anything, awaits them there. They have nothing, just a pistol to defend themselves against the lawless band that stalks the road, the clothes they are wearing, a cart of scavenged food, and each other. So yeah, very Last of Us feeling. The other one is City of Thieves by David Benioff. During the Nazis' brutal siege of Leningrad, Lev Benioff is arrested for looting and thrown into the same cell as the handsome deserter named Koya. Instead of being executed, Lev and Koya are given a shot at saving their own lives by complying with an outrageous directive: secure a dozen eggs for a powerful Soviet colonel to use in his daughter's wedding cake. In a city cut off from all supplies and suffering unbelievable deprivation, Lev and Koya embark on a hunt through the dire lawlessness of Leningrad and behind enemy lines to find the impossible. So those are the first two, and I know they also based the video game a lot on No Country for Old Men, if you want to watch that film. I don't know what book that is based on, if any. I'm going to move on to books that I'm going to recommend, and then some others that I have seen floating around, / others I can think of that I don't have books for. The first one, which gives me very much Last of Us vibes, except the apocalypse is natural disaster, is Orleans by Sherri L. Smith. The reason why that this one gives me the Last of Us vibes is because it has kind of the same plot line, because it has kind of the same thing, I guess, happen. In this one, we are living in the Orleans area, the New Orleans area. The South has been ravaged by a series of hurricanes, and there is some sort of disease, bloodborne disease, that makes it so the government has cut off some states of the South for the rest of the U.S. We've been fenced off, guys. We're goners. Anyways, in this one, it follows our main character, who is part of like this group of people. And when they are attacked, she discovers that her, I think it was like the leader or whatever, had given birth right before she passed. And now she's responsible for this child. It's a newborn. And the only thing that our main character can think about is, I need to get this newborn to the other side of the wall, basically, to safety and everything. So it's about her journey to safely get this child to the other side of the wall, so that way the child can, you know, live. And not in this lawless southern country that it has become. It is really good. I'm not doing it justice by talking about it, but it is really good and one of my favorite dystopians. This one also has a lot of The Last of Us vibes from what I know about it. I've not read it yet, but it's on my TBR for one thing, and my husband has read it, and I know he's going to just absolutely squeal when he sees this video. It is The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. And this one, it is after the events of a zombie apocalypse, and the children born thereafter are kind of technically zombies, but they're also like super smart and gifted and stuff like that. The tagline of it says, "Every morning Melanie waits in her cell to be collected for class. When they come for her, Sergeant Perks keeps his gun pointed at her while two of his people strap her into the wheelchair. She thinks they don't like her. She jokes that she won't bite. They don't laugh." The movie, I know, was pretty good. But I will update you further later on the book. But I know this has very much Last of Us vibes. If you're especially into Ellie's point of view, whenever the game switches over to Ellie's point of view, you might like books like Life as We Know It by Susan Beth Pfeffer. This one is told in diary format, and what happens is I think it's a meteoroid, comet, something like that. Something hits the moon and it causes it to come closer to Earth. And when that happens, when the moon is in the exact precise area that it needs to be, it's what, to keep like our tides and our weather and stuff going the way it's going. When it's not closer, or when something happens to it, like a part of it breaks off, it disrupts a lot of stuff that happens on Earth. So that's what happens in this book. It details a lot from our very young main character and her fight for survival with her family, and you know, stuff like that. It's a 4-book series following her and her journeys as she's trying to survive, especially with her older siblings and stuff like that. Very well done. I liked it. Another one, if you're kind of into the Ellie narrative, I feel like Tally has a lot of Ellie-ness about her. It is the Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. Maybe not so much the later ones feel The Last of Us vibes, but this one definitely does. There's really not there was a dystopian event, which has still not been fully explained, which kind of interesting, but kind of like, you know, what went on. There was an event caused by nanobots that destroyed the world. After that, the remaining people came together and formed a utopia and everything. And so everything's like clean and pristine, and everyone's happy and everything. When you turn 16, you are picked up for your surgery to be made beautiful, and then everyone conforms to these same beauty standards and everything. It's very samey. So our main character is very much looking forward to having her surgery to become beautiful, and when she meets another girl named Shay, who has a different idea and then runs away, it becomes Tally's problem to find Shay, or else she will not get her surgery. So So most of the series follows Tally, then we switch over to other POVs and stuff like that. But Tally is very much an Ellie, maybe not in the beginning. She's very shy and very self-conscious and everything, but she very much grows into the Ellie narrative very much later on. It's a very fascinating series. I recommend it. I'm also going to recommend a couple of Stephen King books, and I know, like Stephen King, but he has some fairly good post-apocalyptic books. One of them being Cell, where there is an electromagnetic event that happens where everyone that is on the phone / using electronics / using their phones dies. I believe that is what the issue is. And it's our protagonist's journey with this ragtag group of people to go and try to solve the issue. Explain it very simply. And the other one is a mega series called The Stand, and I don't even know where to start on it with that one. I watched one kind of miniseries. I watched a couple of episodes. I was a little bit too young, and mother caught on quickly. But I know that The Stand is separate from Cell, first of all. It's not the same. But also, actually, I think they're in the same universe. It's a mega series. Anyways, basically what happens in The Stand is, and TW for trigger warning for like COVID-like, plot lines, but there is some sort of mega flu virus that a lot of people get and then die. The rest who remain are left to pick up the pieces of Earth, and yeah, there's a lot of not good stuff happening. There's also some magic funky stuff happening, but yeah. Anyways, another book, if you're really interested in how humanity does and deals with the aftermath of a post-apocalyptic event, is Station 11, which tells the story of a Hollywood star, his would-be savior, and a nomadic group of actors roaming the scattered outposts of the Great Lakes region, risking everything for art and humanity. I have the book. I'm really excited to read it. You could also read The Power by Naomi Alderman, which is about a world that is a recognizable place. There's a rich Nigerian boy who lounges in the family pool, a foster kid whose religious parents hide their true nature, an ambitious American politician, a tough London girl from a tricky family, but then a vital new force takes root and flourishes, causing their lives to converge with devastating effect. Teenage girls now have immense physical power. They can cause agonizing. They can cause agonizing pain and even death. And with this small twist in nature, the world drastically resets. And I also recommend The Darkest Minds, which is kind of like The Power, kind of like a lot of other books. It's a dystopian, of course, by Alexandra Bracken. In this one, there is an event that happens, not really sure what causes it. I've only read the first one so far, and I watched the movie. The movie was pretty good. I wish they would, make the other ones. But anyways, I'm not going to get what I want. Anyways, there is an event that happens that causes kids that are under 16, I think, 16 and under, to gain powers based on blood type, I think it is. Anyways, there's like 4 different powers. And one of them is super OP. Our main character has that super OP power, but when she, it is so sad, when she woke up the morning that she, got her powers, like, she can do, like, mind manipulation stuff. So when she woke up with her powers, she accidentally made it where her parents absolutely forgot that she existed. Kind of like a bad Taylor Swift lyric. Yeah. So when she goes to the compound, they're testing everyone. She notices this, and she tricks them into seeing that she is this other power. And she tricks people with her mind to... Anyway, she survives like that for a while, and then she escapes, and it's about her journey with this other group of people to try to survive and figure out what to do and how to live with this, basically. Super good. Super good. I need to read the next one and stuff like that. Anyways, that is it for this video. Those are some recs. And I'm also, actually, before I go, yes, I am right. I had to look it up on my phone. The video games now have a comic series detailing Riley and Ellie's early adventures and stuff like that before the events in the DLC, the Left Behind DLC. I would recommend those too if you're wanting more of the Toulouse world. But anyways, that is it for this video, so thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!